Okay, so you're sitting at home, aren't you? I hope you are. You're watching me on TV. And you're thinking, I'm just going to watch this guy. Maybe he'll sweat and I won't have to. It doesn't work that way. Wish it did, but it doesn't. I'm going to show you an exercise that you can do anywhere, at home, on the road again, wherever you're at, you can do this exercise. It's very simple and it's very important. When people ask me, tell me one exercise to do for my stomach, I tell them to squat. Why? Biggest muscle group. All great trainers will tell you this. It just burns so many calories and it's so simple to do. You know why? We tell people to do that because you know how to squat. You know why? Because since you were a little kid, you went to potty. And when you got to potty, you squat and you get back up. Okay? When you sit down to eat, and most of you are eating too much, you squat. You sit down. You get back up. That's a squat. Wow. High tech. Yeah, that's it. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to do some resistance. Now I'm going to use some very fancy dumbbells. I'm going to use some light ones, too, because I'm getting tired. We've been doing this for a while. I'm going to show you how to do the right form, but this could be pork and bean cans. The other day I had a thought, too. You know those gallon milk jugs that you buy tea and milk and everything else in? You could actually fill those up with sand or just water and hold one of them by the handle and get resistance. So this is, again, you don't have to buy anything. And also, I'll tell you right now, well, I'll get to that in a second. This is the way I'm going to turn sideways. My head is up. My back stays good and flat. I squat down. You're going to go to above parallel or even parallel, depending on how flexible you are. It's very complicated, isn't it? Now you can hold the dumbbells in a different position. You can hold them up. That's my preference. I don't like them hanging down. I like them up. It's almost a front squat at this point. Okay? That's a dumbbell squat. Now, I said I was going to show you something even simpler. If you've been doing nothing, I can honestly tell you, especially if you're over 30 years of age, you don't need any weight at all. You can take a chair, you can stand right at home and go get you a kitchen chair or whatever chair you're near or anything, the back of a couch, and hang on for stability, especially if you're older. Get stable. And just hang on and squat. Now, to make it even sillier, and I'm not being silly, I'm being honest. Here's the chair. You all sit in the chair, I've seen you do it. I've been in restaurants, I've seen you do it. You're sitting in chairs. You do like this. You sit down. That's a chair. Watch this. That's a squat. Repeat. And repeat. That's almost a perfect squat. My back's staying good and flat. See my back? It's not rounded. Sitting back on the chair keeps my knees from traveling over my feet, which is another good point. You can get a lot done sitting down and standing up. Now the key is you've got to stand back up. If you sit down and the only time you get up is to go to the refrigerator and drink more Coke, that's not going to cut it. But if you'll sit down and stand back up and do it 20 or 30 times, now here's a little challenge for you. The commercials are going to come on. They even come on my own show. We have to pay the bills around here too. When the commercial comes on, and please watch them because they're my sponsors, squat, stand up, squat, stand up. Try to do at least 10 per commercial break. An average TV show, a 30-minute show, will have you squatting at least 30 squats. At least. An hour show is going to give you, see how that's adding up? You're like, whoa, yeah, 30. If you do 30 of these tonight, I promise you a couple of days you're going to be sore. Here's the key. Don't do too much. Do about 10. Do 10 tonight. Tomorrow, maybe do 15. If we're not using resistance, we could actually do this every day. This would become a cardiovascular exercise as well as anaerobic. That means basically we're going to strengthen, tighten up those muscles. Ladies, you ought to love this. This ought to be something, it's a no-brainer. You ought to be squatting and getting up. Again, this is just for starters, just to get you hooked on it. Most of you are not fit and you're not getting fit, and you know why? I've decided you don't know how good it feels to be fit. If you ever tasted what it feels like to feel good, you'd never let yourself slide backwards. So let's start. Let's start by just get up. Sit down. Get up again. Practice. I'm telling you, it's easy as standing up.